What's up, no time to explain gang. King Zeph here, back with another video for you guys. Happy Saturday to all of you guys. Gonna do a little bit of some Master Duel gameplay and some little small things because I don't know if you guys are in the same club as I am, but I hate Tenpai. I really hate Tenpai. Tenpai Dragons is the bane of my existence. Now, in case you guys haven't heard or don't know who don't play Master Duel or even don't play in TCG, Tenpai Dragon is it's an FTK deck. It's designed to go second. Essentially, it synchro summons a bunch of dragons to blow up your board and essentially win the duel within on their first turn. So 9 times out of 10, when you play the deck, they're gonna have you go first. You're gonna set your board up. Then when their turn starts, they're gonna nuke your board, summon the dragons, and then essentially just wipe you out. So really, the only real way to beat Tenpai for the most part is really to make them go first and modify their play. Or if you go first, just have the God Hand and be able to stop them from synchro summoning or stop them from essentially doing any of the things that they need to get their dragons out. So that right now is probably it's literally one of the top 3 decks in the TCG right now. And more than likely, it's probably within the top 3 decks in Master Duel as well, because everybody's playing Tenpai in Master Duel. It's just easy wins. The deck is really simple to play in autopilot. So if you're playing against it, I'm sorry. We all have to deal with it, especially as you go through mostly platinum and up. You'll probably see it in gold too, but I mean, for the most part, if you're in platinum or higher, you're going to run into Tenpai a lot. And especially if you wouldn't lose the coin toss, they're going to make you go first. That's usually your cue sign that you're playing Tenpai Dragon more than likely anything else. So, fortunately for me, I have been clapping cheeks with Tenpai Dragon using a modified version of the Yugi deck that I've showcased on the channel. I believe it was sometime last week. It was right around the time the deck came out. Dragoon is now legal. I haven't added into the deck. I'm using a different version of the deck. I'm going to highlight some of that in the near future, as well as another deck profile from a deck that they added very recently, which is the White Forest deck. This is one of my favorite decks to play in real life, so I'm glad they added it in Master Duel so I get to play it here. So be on the lookout for those videos on those deck profiles and everything. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give us a like. If you have any comments, concerns, or some advice, you can go ahead and put it in the comment section. All of that is graciously appreciated. We just crossed the 750 subscriber goal earlier this week. Thank you guys for that. And we're going to be moving on to our goal of 1,000 very, very soon. And then also we have some more Blizzard versus Boosters coming up very soon and a couple other things. So a lot of Master Duel content, a lot of other things, and probably maybe 1 or 2 more giveaways before the end of the year. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure you are subscribed to the channel, hit that bell for when the videos drop. So let me go and showcase some of the duels we played, and then I'll show you the deck profile that I use against them. I think we're only going to be going over 3 different duels. They shouldn't last that long because generally when you beat Tenpai, you generally beat them within the first 2 turns. So let me go ahead and switch over to Master Duel, and then let's show you some of these games. All right, game number 1 is going to be loading up very, very well. These are recorded videos, so I'm not playing them in the moment. If you guys want to see me live play, I'll think about doing some live streams and show some of those more in the future. But of course, he is selected to go second, per usual. And then here's my standard hand for anything. So go ahead. So while he's drawing his card and my effect is going off, let me just walk through this. So of course, didn't have the greatest hand in the world. It did draw Silence Magician 0, a Turn Silence, and a Forbidden Droplet. So essentially something that allows me, and then also have Ash Blossom and Dark Magician in my hand. So in case you guys don't know, the advantage is Turn Silence will allow me to essentially raise my Magician level up 3 points. So when he draws a card, he'll go to level 5, giving him 500 extra attack points. By doing this, it'll go to 3,000, so it'll kind of make it almost impossible for him to crash over it. And then it also has the effect to end the battle phase if a monster mentioning Shining Sarcophagus is attacked. So another good way to stall Tenpai Dragon out is to basically end the battle phase as it goes, and then Forbidden Droplet just to get me out of a situation just in case something big comes out that I can't stop. So moves up in the level, plays Harpy's Feather Duster. So because he plays Harpy's Feather Duster, knowing he's getting rid of the back row, Forbidden Droplet's going to be gone, I'm going to immediately chain Turn Silence, so that way my Magician gains the 3 levels. But that's not a problem because I do want Turn Silence in the graveyard anyway, so changes not a whole lot. And then drops Tenpai Dragon Padra right into the Sengen Summoning. Goes for the Sengen Summoning. I should have realistically ashed that, but I was confident. I'm like, you know what? You don't know what's coming, so why not? Goes into battle phase. Immediately end the battle phase. I banish the Turn Silence because he summoned Chandra. The second he's going to attack with Chandra, he's going to try to synchro summon into the Bident Dragon and then keep chaining off of that one and possibly go into the Sengen Kaiman. So stop that immediately. So he goes into Bident. I still don't understand why Tenpai players go into Bident because I get if you attack 3 times, it resurrects itself. But at the same time, I'm like, why even bother going to it? And then what was this? Should go into Hieratic Seal. Now, Hieratic Seal is generally the card that they'll go to. If they go first, they'll generally set up their board to go into Hieratic Seal, so that way they can bounce a card off your side of the field and then draw another card. I think the Mucky Koru Dragon that is played in the TCG that basically stops you from using special summoning light or dark monsters, I don't think it's in Master Duel yet, because I've yet to see one person play it. Generally in the TCG, they'll special summon that and then discard it at the end of the turn because they don't have a dragon to sacrifice. So that way they can OTK you. So that's just a little bit of knowledge for you guys in case you playing it in real life. So essentially his game plan is going to be, he's going to pitch the Heavenly Seal, force me to draw, put the Silent Magician 0 back in my hand, and then he's going to special summon a dragon from while banishing the card in the grave. Plays 2 face down. Pretty positive those are imperms. Golden Shiny Sarcophagus, perfect. The exact card I needed to draw, or the Gadget Trio. So of course he pitches that. Believe he bounces back the Silent Magician. Yes, he does. Then he uses the second effect to summon a dragon. I ashed that one. So now he needs to have a call by the grave to stop it. Fortunately, he does. So he calls by the Ash, which is fine because I'd rather him call by that than call by something else. And then summons Fadra. Fadra gets back Chandra. A special summon Dark Magician. Go ahead and pull Gandora out. Resummon the Silent Magician 0. Nuke the board. And boom. Oh, and I don't know how that ended up happening, but anyway. So essentially, Gandora, I wiped the board, summoned out the 0 because the 0 is a targeting negate. And then, of course, resummon the Dark Magician since it was out on the field. The only reason I essentially pitched the Silent Magician is because it gives 0 one more level for the card that's destroyed. Didn't need 0 at this point in time. He would have been beneficial to have, but at the time, I would rather him stop something that targets than stop a spell card. And since I nuked the board and there's only one card left in his hand, I highly doubted that anything bad was going to happen from that. So, of course, swing for 21, and he scooped. So that's game number 1. Let's go to game number 2. Oh, that's water. All right, moving on to game number 2. I forgot how this one exactly went. So let's just see and let's let it cook as we go. Now we have matching fields. Of course, he goes second. Okay, so now I have a really fantastic hand. So have Gandora in hand, Gadget Trio, Silent Swordsman 0, Maxi, and Mseti. So this is the special goo for that one. So to bait out an Ash, go ahead and use Mseti to get rid of the Maxi. He didn't do anything with it, so now I know he doesn't have Ash Blossom. Play the Gadget Trio, bait out the Imperm. So Gadget Trio will allow me to get a Shiny Sarcophagus card. 9 times out of 10 is Shiny Sarcophagus. Since I already drew it off of Mseti, I just decided to let him have it. So to bait out the Imperm, go ahead and use that one. So now I play Shiny Sarcophagus. Draw a card, pull the turn silence, summon Gandora. Put him in defense position since I am going second. Blow the trio, summon the Magician. Then play King Sarcophagus. Pitch the 0. Drop Mseti and Happy. Get rid of Gandora and go into Hope Harbinger. So a pretty interesting board state we have here. So of course I have no cards in my hand, so I can't stop anything that comes back from the graveyard, but I do have a turn silence, which will boost up the power of my Silent Magician 0 and negate a monster effect since I do have Shiny Sarcophagus on the field, as well as once it hits the graveyard, I can end the battle phase instantly. And then of course I have 2 spell negates. Silent Magician 0 can negate 1 spell card, and so can Hope Harbinger, he can negate the other one. And then of course Mseti, if he battles something, as long as King Sarcophagus is out in the field, I get to just send a card straight to the graveyard. So enough protection on that side. Just not much, unless he can just completely clear my entire field. Not much he can really do about that. So what does he go for? He goes immediately for the Fadra, special summons the Chandra. I negate the Chandra using turn silence. Basically tell him nope. Instantly surrenders. Instantly surrenders. All right, let's go into the third and final game. All right, go into the third and final game here. This one was a little different. I think this was a Tenpai with a flavor of a couple other cards. So, of course, I chose to go second because I won the coin toss. So I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. Very great hand here. Right into the Padra. Drops the Sengen Summoning. Activates the Sengen Summoning. Gets Chandra out. Actually, I forgot he got Genroku. And then he pitches the Doradora. Genroku effect. That got Chandra out. Monster Reborn to the Doradora. And goes right into Bident Dragon. Resummons that. And then this should go into the big one. Yeah, Sengenpai Transcended Dragon. All right. So that was his opening board. One card's face down, more than likely is an Imperm. Sengen Summoning, Tenpai Dragon Padra, and then, of course, the Transcended Dragon. The Transcended Dragon, what does that card do again? I know it stops something. All monster your opponent controls must attack if able, and your opponent cannot activate cards or effects during the battle phase. And then, of course, if it conducts 3 or more attacks in one turn, you get to bring it back. So here we go. Let's start cooking some bait. So, of course, since I have both Shining Sarcophaguses in hand, I'm just going to summon Gadget Trio just to bait something out. Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. I'm going to allow it. I already have the cards in my hand that I need to get it out, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and Shining Sarc, summon the Dark Magician. Shining Sarc, pull out Gandora. I'm going to special summon Gandora. Since I already have the suspicion that the face down card is an Infinite Impermanence, I do have the Cross-Out Designator locked and loaded for it. So, of course, Gandora. Second I summon Gandora, he instantly flips the Infinite Impermanence. Right into the Cross-Out Designator, calling Infinite Impermanence. Banish, negate. Gandora effect, destroy everything. Bring out the Silent Magician, bring back the Dark Magician. Now, this was very, very important. This is not... Was this game on the board? No, it's not game on the board. He has 7,500 points of damage. Attack for 1, attack for 2, end the battle phase. Now, very, very important to have noticed this. Why did I end the battle phase there? Because I didn't have game, but also, if I had attacked with the Dark Magician, that would have been 3 attacks. By causing the 3 attacks, that would have allowed Bident Dragon to come back out, as well as Transcended Dragon's already is already banished, so I'm not so worried about that one. But it would have resurrected the Bident Dragon to give him some follow-up. It would have gave him a level 7 tuner, so all he would have needed is something small to get something else big out, and then thus cause the chain of events. So that's why he has no cards in hand, nothing on the field. There was no rhyme or reason for me to get greedy. So of course, keep that in mind for any of you guys that are playing Tenpai. If they have Transcended Dragon or Sengenpai Bident Dragon in the graveyard and you have 3 attacks and you've cleared the board, attack twice, end the turn. Unless you can end the game in 2 attacks, don't attack more than 3 times. The second you hit that 3rd attack, that Bident Dragon comes back, and my Dark Magician was not strong enough to deal with that, which would have caused some follow-up for the next turn. Granted, he draws a Sengen Summoning or a Kaiman, Sengen Kaiman. If you draw any one of those cards with having that dragon out there, you can basically call that GG. So I end the battle phase, I basically end the turn. Draws his 1 card, he gets 4,000 attack points, surrenders. And that's all she wrote for that one. Let me show you the deck profile for this so that way I can show you guys. All right, so this was the deck I ran and exactly how I ran it. So, of course, this was pre Pot of Prosperity being banned, so now that card is banned now, so I can't use it anymore. But essentially, 2 maxis. A lot of people like to run 3. I try to run 2. I don't want... With this being Master Duel and being a best-of-1 format and not having... being able to side in and out, I don't want to get greedy with hand traps unless I absolutely have to. So I feel like having 2 maxis and 2 ashes is a perfect fit because a lot of cards in this deck can get themselves out and they work kind of in tune to how an ash would work, because realistically speaking, Silent Magician 0 is a spell negate. Swordsman 0 is a target negate, so we can stop an imperm or something that targets something. The Horus monsters can bring themselves back. Gandora wipes the board. And then, of course, I have like Cross-Out Designator, Call by the Grave to prevent some stuff. So, and then even Forbidden Droplet. So there's a lot of stuff in the deck that I have to combat to help me overcome a board, but also to just really not really be reliant on a bunch of hand traps on that side. So I don't want to overload the deck with hand traps. Keep it as low as possible. So, of course, those are the four that those are the four cards in here that I would use for that in terms of, you know, an Ash and Maxi. Of course, one of each of the Silent Magicians, 3 gadget trios, which you need 3 of if you're playing the Yugi version of the deck, so that way you can at least have a better shot at getting Shining Sarcophagus or any of the Shining Sarcophagus cards that you need. 1 Dark Magician, which is just basically a beater at this point in time, but since Dragoon is now legal, he actually has a better purpose. 3 Imsetis, 1 Dumateth, 1 Happy, and 1 Protection of the Horus. I'm not pronouncing that because I cannot. And then 2 Gandoras. This version of the deck did have Prod of Prosperity, but Prod of Prosperity is now banned in Master Duel, so you can't use it anymore because this is pre-banned. And then Walls of the Imperial Tomb, I have that in here as a way out. I only have put 1 in here because when it's on the field, its name becomes Shining Sarcophagus, so basically it allows you to use any of the Horus monsters effects, but it also allows you to kind of pad your hand. So if your hand is really bricky, as long as there's not an Ash Blossom or anything to stop you, you can use this, put back a card in the deck that you don't use to either get King Sarcophagus out or to get Imseti out, so that way you can get a King Sarcophagus and draw an extra card. So that's why it's there. So I usually play that, get Imseti out, use Imseti's effect, pitch another card in my hand, granted if it's another one of these guys, draw the King Sarcophagus, and then draw an extra card to kind of help me build my way to it. But also, since these are all level 8s, they help for everything else in the deck. 3 King Sarcophagus, 3 Shining Sarcophagus, 2 Super Polymerizations, which are very, very helpful. That is probably one of the best set spell cards to use against Tenpai Dragon, because since they're all Dragon and Fire monsters, you can go ahead and break out Garura out of that one, as well as you can't do Mug Dragon, can you? 2 monsters with the same attribute but different types. Yeah, you can't use Mug Dragon, but it's good for Garura. So if they have the 2 on the board, or really even if they start chaining off and then of course they chime into Bident and have Bident in either one of the other dragons, you can just go ahead and do Garura and get that out and clear the board, stop them from doing everything else in between. So Super Poly is actually a really, really good card to be playing as a prevention for that. Of course, Call by the Grave, great. You can use that for any hand trap. I like to use it against Chandra a lot because a lot of times they'll pitch Sundra, try to bring, they'll pitch one of their Sundras, and then they'll try to special summon the other Sundra, but if one's in the graveyard, it's Call by it, cuts Chandra off immediately. So it's a very good trap to have. I like to use it for that outside of the regular hand traps. Cross-Out Designator to, of course, call the Ash, Maxi, most of the Infinite Impermanence. You want to call something that's going to basically slow you down. So it's really good for Ash, Infinite Impermanence, or Forbidden Droplet, more or less than anything else. Forbidden Droplet is going to be seen a lot more in Master Duel now because it's good against Dragoon and a couple other things, so it's a non-targeting effect. So be on the lookout for that. 2 Forbidden Droplets just in case. Pitch stuff on the field or pitch stuff from the hand, and then cut monsters' attack points in half and negate its effects. It speaks for itself. It's a really good card to have, especially if you have stuff that you can throw away, especially since I'm having these these turn silences. It's a great card that if I didn't set it, I can pitch it with Forbidden Droplets, and then of course if I have on the Shining Marks, I can still in the battle phase that way. So it's a really good utility card to have. 3 Future Silences to pull any of the monsters that mention Shining Sarcophagus, and 3 Infinite Impermanence, followed by the extra deck. Basically half of the deck, all the fusions are super poly targets. So Mug Dragon in the Swamp, Garura, Wings of the Resonance, Earth Golem, Ignister, Predaplant Drexelpalia, and then Yubel, the Loving Defender Forever. Of course, Yubel for the Yubel players. Otherwise, I would pitch it off with Pot of Prosperity. If they're not playing Yubel, I would always pitch it with Pot of Prosperity. 4 Xyz, number 100, number 38, number 97, and then Typhon. Essentially, these 3 are the One Punch Man combo. So if you happen to go second and can wipe the board, and you can go into One Punch Man, you can summon your Glue Beyond into number 100, attaching the 38, pitch the 38, give this 10,000 attack points, and attack for game at that point in time. And then Typhon is Typhon. IP Masquerena. Why there's 2 IP Masquerenas in here? I don't know. I might have made a mistake and just clicked it twice. Yeah, because there's not supposed to be 2 in here. A little odd. What card is missing? Something is missing out of here. It might have been... Oh, I don't remember what was missing, but for some odd reason I put 2 in here. I guess this is a weird error. Dark to Dark Charm, SP Little Knight, Celine, and access code. So, of course, Celine, access code, Dark, and IP are your link climbers. They're pretty self-explanatory. Get you the access code talker, and then SP Little Knight is SP Little Knight. But give this deck a whirl if you want to try it in Master Duel and see how it works. Of course, you're going to be replacing the Pot of Prosperity with something else, but with Dragoon available, honestly, what I would do in this situation is replace Pot of Prosperity with Secrets of Dark Magic, get rid of one of the IP Masquerenas and replace it with Dragoon, and you have basically the same type of synergy in the deck, no matter what. So that way you can summon Dragoon out using the Shining Sarcophagus stuff. But that's going to do it for this video. So I hope you guys enjoyed it and hope you guys learned something. If you did like the video and learn something, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to see more videos like this, just let me know. I can probably play with some other decks. I'm going to be doing a couple more deck profiles and a couple more gameplay footages very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that type of stuff. But in the meantime, it's King Zeph. No time to explain. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.